Welcome back to Girls Rewatch, a podcast about girls,
TV,
and girls on TV. I'm Amelia Rataller.
And I'm Evan Lazarus.
And today we are covering season 4, episode 3, Just the Tip.
Ooh. Okay, this was a big party weekend for us.
I know. I've been going out and drinking, like, I want to say 13 beverages so far, and we're throwing a party tonight.
You know, there's usually parties around the turn of the century. There's also parties between the turn of...
summer and spring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey, I go out crazy style during this time.
I'm sorry, but every single day this week, I was like, I need to enjoy life. Like, I'm going to have a vodka cran.
I recently saw a video that said, actually, if you have one drink of alcohol a day, it actually helps you live longer. So I've been living by that principle.
Okay, yeah, but didn't they disprove that study by saying that
it's
people
a new one. It's a new one.
Oh, it's not the one about wine
it's
and
like
how wine people just actually have more access to healthcare?
They actually referred to that video in this video because, of course, in 1990, 60 Minutes did a video where they said actually drinking wine has a ton of antioxidants in it and it helps you live longer. That's been disproven. But actually having one drink and decreases your rate of death. Because people that drink a little bit, exercise more usually, or higher income, it's because it's about community alcohol.
This is the thing that nobody talks about. Alcohol is bad. Community is good. The community in New York can be found in the alcoholic spaces.
Also, it's really good to support small business. I think that helps you live longer.
Literally, when I was singing karaoke drunk last night and American Pie came on and lasted 9 minutes, it was literally healing.
Because you knew every word. Everyone else was kind of
everybody else was a little bit tired. Yeah, they were like, damn, another verse.
I can't believe they would allow that at a karaoke restaurant, but when I want to sing No Interruptions by Hoodie Allen, they can't find it.
When I want to sing the all too well 10-minute version on my own birthday at the karaoke bar and they just let you sing your song instead, FML.
Well, mine was the Birdie version of Skinny Love. Everyone wants to hear that because I have a...
Did you know Night of Joy has a patio upstairs?
Yeah, for 3 years.
I never knew. I went last night. Also, my friends from college are in town and it was so good to catch up with them and smoke a long skinny cigarette.
Oh, your friends from college are fun.
Literally, they're fun. They're all 34 and they've figured something out.
But your friends from college are 34?
Yeah, because I met them in improv.
Oh, it's your improv friends. You do have to say that to clarify for me.
My improv friends from college are in town and I love them.
No, your improv friends for when you were in college. You have to clarify you were in college when you met these people. They were not in college.
Okay, when I was in college, I started doing improv at Second City, Toronto, and I befriended all these people who were 8 years older than me. And anyways, they were in town last night and I got to hang out with them.
It is the people, this is the one thing in this world you need to do, is do one improv class, not for the actual exercise of improv, the exercise of hanging out with multi-generational people.
Well, this is what I want to say. We've talked about this previously on the pod and I was talking about this with them, is that I grew up as a millennial.
Right.
I was not Gen Z. I became Gen Z more recently. They were like, well, now you're Gen Z, but when I knew you, you were a full millennial.
Well, that's a major part of being a cusp.
That's a huge part. Is it if you're hanging out with the older siblings, you're a millennial.
Do you know the song Look Like an Angel, Act Like a Baddie, Act Like a Devil? Look like an angel, dressed like a dressed like crazy. Sorry, act like an angel, dressed like crazy. We're so dressed like a Gen Z, act like a millennial.
That is our whole thing.
That's our whole thing. Really, it is.
And let's dive into our millennial show. Ross is joining us back in the studio. It's Charlie Flynn.
Hello.
Hi, Chartown.
Hi, girls.
Oh my God, we've brought you up in so many episodes and to get you on the couch because last time you were on the other couch.
Yeah.
My microphone, I think, was off last time. Or I chose not to speak. I can't remember.
You chose not to really lean into the mic.
I had a lot to say on that episode.
To this day, one of our most viewed TikToks is us talking about iCarly and hobos.
Using the word hobo.
Yeah. Why were they addicted to saying that?
It's still, the point stands. I still
have another
wonder.
point like that you could do on the pod?
It'll come out.
Okay.
Pardon my
the clips
take.
haven't been doing as well.
Yeah.
So really, that's why
I'm
you're
good.
here.
I'm good.
We really need something Nickelodeon to slide in.
Oh my God. Random dancing.
We should add that as part of the pod.
Random. It's so
iCarly should be your next rewatch.
Yes.
No.
I'm singing Ellen.
No.
Ellen.
Oh yeah, that made me laugh so much. Evan posts on their close friends on Wednesday night at 2 a.m. Someone needs to host an Ellen rewatch podcast.
And then I took it down because I was like, it's too good of an idea to share with everyone.
Patent it.
Anyways,
But
we
I
are
tried to watch an episode of Ellen. Nothing happens.
No, she dances with the
mostly about
audience.
dancing.
That show was about filling time.
I know.
And
I let her.
That show was about pacifying an entire audience.
The way in middle school I DVR'd it and would watch it when I got home every
we watched
weekday.
it every day.
Yeah. Last time we chatted girls with Charlie, but now we're in our Broad City era and we are ready to dive in with season 4, episode 3. I'm going to read a synopsis that you wrote.
No, girl, I wrote Charlie to copy.
I copy edited.
Okay, so
Evan dictated.
I dictated in the shower to.
Evan voiced a text, Charlie cleaned it up, and I'll be reciting it. Are we
That's
ready?
why
Oh my
ChatGPT.
God,
Wait,
high
that's why
five.
ChatGPT apparently says I'm a co-host of this podcast.
Your intern.
I'm intern level.
Alana and Abby walk by very exclusive Gramercy Park, and imbecilic businessman inside chokes on a club sandwich. Since they're not allowed inside, the man mid-choke stumbles towards the gate. The girls perform a double-duty Heimlich, freeing his closed air passageway. He says he'll grant them one wish, but when they ask to enter the park, he refuses. As they walk away, the rich man chokes again, and they ignore him. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1-1. Alana and her busted-up feet sit next to Jaime as he complains about his itchy penis. Her feet destroyed from 7 double shifts working at the sushi place. Abby wakes up with her new boyfriend in bed as he leaves Bevers ambushes the spot he just occupied and gets the dirty details about their sex life. Alana is back at the salon, but this time she needs extra double duty on her nails. She gets into a confrontation with the salon owner, who ends up convincing her to try expensive gel X extensions. At a meeting, Abby tells all of her coworkers about her new boyfriend, and Wanda Sykes is like, "Girl, you're weird."
Why is this?
I didn't write that.
Alana's
That's not my voice.
Alana's getting ready for the party of her life, one she found on Facebook and doesn't know who's hosting. She rents a limo, puts on a wig, and dons on a leotard she picked up while shopping with her gay brother Elliot, who complained the whole time, even though he had 2 Levain cookies. Alana at the party is having a seemingly good time, eating copious amounts of dairy and practicing her death drops, but suddenly she realizes the party is hosted by Lincoln's best friend. She has a weird interaction with Lincoln and his new girlfriend. She shits her pants and runs off to the bathroom where she can't unzip her new leotard because of her nails. Lincoln recognizes that face on Alana. "Oh no, I shit myself," and gallivants to the bathroom to rescue her. They have an earnest moment, even as Alana causes a full-on medical mystery to herself by really doing some fucked up stuff in there. Meanwhile, Abby escapes the party onto the fire escape where she meets soon-to-be divorcee, played by Miriam Shore, who is ranting about her disengaged husband. Abby tries to give relationship advice, which is comforting until the woman finds out Abby's only been with her EMT boyfriend for 6 days. Abby's laughed out of the apartment window. She realizes this relationship is including her in a story that isn't hers, and that Abby...
That's a Charlie line.
Wait, it's not.
Wait, that's
When I decided
my
not
voice.
to touch.
She realizes her EMT boyfriend is maybe fake and calls her, and then he's like, "Yeah, I've been hooking up with other people," and she's like, "Well, let's break up, LOL." Jaime has his own debacle. He's dealing with a male yeast infection caused by having an uncircumcised penis. Jaime's body is hot, but he doesn't feel that way as he tries to hit on the male equivalent of Lucy Liu.
Don't worry, there's another page.
This is the longest. The episode concludes with all of them congregating in Alana's room again, where they discuss the metaphors of their lives through the metaphor of removing a tip. Jaime and his penis, Alana and her nails, and Abby has nothing.
I don't really have a tip metaphor this week, but
And that's what you missed on Glee.
We all should do tip metaphors.
Aww.
We don't have any.
I can't think of it.
Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. That was thrilling.
Last night, a girl at a karaoke
Oh
bar
yeah, is this
said,
what you're revealing to us?
No,
Is this your big reveal? So at some point during this episode, just to let listeners aware, Amelia has a big news drop.
Big reveal.
And we won't know
I'll
when
share
it's
it
coming.
now. I'll share it now.
Okay.
Guess who I saw on the street this morning?
Who?
A Tora Castro.
Did you say hi?
I was like, "Oh my God, Jaime!" But I thought
Oh.
I thought about saying that.
Oh my god.
But then I was like,
Who is that?
I have about 30 seconds before they lock the door of the Pilates class.
Oh my god.
But-
Himmels.
But he was looking so cool. He was in dark wash jeans, a black tee, and like a little chain necklace.
Oh my god.
And was
He's
like-
leaving his apartment, so say the address.
And it was on 144 Roebling Street.
You were in Fort Greene this morning?
He's shorter than I thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a little guy.
They always are, though.
Mhm.
Everyone always is
Mhm.
shorter than you think. But my big that
Not
was my big
Charlie.
Not me. Everyone, when I meet people on Zoom, they all think I'm short. It sucks.
Yeah, it's because you carry yourself like a youngest child.
I know. I'm working.
On what?
Amelia's
Something.
microphone turned into a gun.
Literally. Evan, before we started recording, said we're going to be so mean to you. There's going to be a Reddit thread.
God, we need it. I need someone.
Engagement bait.
I need someone on Reddit to talk about someone besides me and my
Your
or
voice.
security ad voice. FML.
I really love this episode.
Every Drag Race fan wants to kill me with the gun.
But they wanted that before to add to.
This is like an all-timer episode.
No, it is,
I
and
really love this episode.
It's the one that we just posted on Instagram, the party for you, like slow-mo
Yes.
of Ilana seeing Lincoln across the bar at the party. And we have a question. What is your deal?
That's like, what's my Broad City story?
So you haven't listened to the
No.
I
podcast.
have. I listened to 2 episodes on the way here.
At 2x speed.
Exactly.
One of them was Jake Cornell's.
No.
Who?
Who?
Michelle Adana and Greta Titelman. 1 and 1 on each coast.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah. I love Broad City. I started watching Broad City when it started on TV in high school. And I remember it was very much like, I want to move to New York vibes. I want to go do that.
Literally,
No.
we have the same story.
You said
And
that for girls.
I had also, when I was in middle school, my family came on a trip to New York because my parents had a wedding to go to. But it was when my cousin Luke, who you guys just met,
Yeah, love.
was living in New York. And so when my parents were at the wedding, he took me and my brother and sister to a UCB show.
No.
And I
Luke
remember like,
rolls like that.
huh?
Luke rolls like that.
Luke
Oh,
rolls like that.
No,
Yeah.
Luke would roll like that.
Luke
He's like, I
rolls
got
like
this
that.
underground thing. You
He
gotta.
took us to a UCB show. It was awesome. I remember the whole joke of the show being the term "flick the bean," like flicking the bean.
Can you explain that to me?
It's like, I think it's like a metaphor
I know, I
for
know. It's masturbating.
masturbating, like female
You
masturbation.
think?
Yeah, I know.
You
know what? I need to. We teach women to shrink themselves. I know that
There's
flicking
no
the
podcast
bean
where you ask-
is an idiom for female masturbation.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the clit is an inspiration for the Nike swoosh.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought a clit kind of looked like a swoosh. But then I also remembered Luke telling me that he had like he would always go to like the UCB bar.
Yeah.
McManus.
Yes, like when he lived here, he would always like
it
that was like
Canadian
his
themed?
spot. I don't think so.
Well, I'm
I
I
think
think
feeling
it's
like
Irish.
pub.
I've been telling everyone it's
keep
Canadian
telling me
themed.
It's a Canadian themed bar, and they're like, "No, I never been to that."
Okay, but it's in Amy Poehler's book. She goes to a Canadian themed bar at some point.
no, she goes to McManus.
No, she doesn't. She goes to a Canadian themed bar at some point in the book.
But anyways, I
I
remember.
watched her master class yesterday.
Oh, how was that?
Sorry, wait. No, let's chart, and then we can actually do one.
Oh
for
no!
the-
Anyways, all I was gonna say was that he like that used to be his spot, and he would always like tell me at Christmas, like, "Oh yeah, Abby and Ilana hang out there all the time."
Oh,
And
okay.
so I
What
always
about
thought that
okay? Now
was
back to master
cool.
class.
Now tell us about Amy's masterclass.
She
I
kinda
loved her on Last Call.
She teaches a master class on the principles of improv and how they have like applied to her the way she lives and navigates the world.
Yes, and
Yeah, literally.
I love that woman. I really was
I
thinking.
do love that woman.
So you guys both collectively said it's an amazing line the other day when you were talking about Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. And you said it's so clear that Tina is such an amazing writer and Amy is such a good hang. And it's like I was
Yeah.
thinking my phone died on the subway and all I had was my scarf that's a map of Florida and my mind. And I was just I
know
figured
that
out the
scarf.
map of Florida and then I also think about how Amy Poehler was such a good hang.
Amy Poehler's a great hang. I just saw the clip SNL posted yesterday from when Scarlett Johansson hosted like years ago, and Amy Poehler like did the little monologue with her. She was a star.
She's so
Oh
funny.
So
yeah,
funny.
they were both
They're,
like,
like, in the
I'm
same
blondes,
dress.
but one of us is sexualized and one of us
Yeah.
is hack.
I'm a movie star. I'm a comedy star.
It's so like
You make out with Colin Firth. I fart on him.
she talks about the push and pull of like
That's like
her.
literally the line.
She talks about the push and pull of her and Ron Swanson's characters in Parks and Rec.
Oh,
Ron Swanson's
Ron
character.
Swanson's character, Nick Offerman.
Girl,
girl are you?
I'm so glad you asked. Because I remember famously a really defining moment in my life and in our friendship, Amelia, was I think before you started this podcast, we were talking about this show once, and I was like, we were talking about like being an Abby or an Ilana, and I was like, I don't know which one I am, and you just immediately looked at me and you said, "You're not in that show."
My classic line.
And so I think that's kind of my truth. I don't think I'm in this show.
Yeah, there's no one in this show like
Right?
you.
Like, it's
You're
not
not like
one-to-one.
them.
Lincoln?
Like maybe Lincoln, but even not really.
No, not
I'm not
really.
chill enough.
RuPaul.
RuPaul. He wasn't in this episode.
You're like
Bevers.
you're the boys on the boat that are gonna move from Murray Hill to Williamsburg.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're Bevers.
He's wearing Patagonia micro shorts. Come on.
His mom bought them.
I bought these myself with my paychecks in high school.
You're racking a little
Last
bit
time
more
I got
back then. Your last page.
Girl, what girl are you? None of the girls. You're a boy.
I'm a boy. I'm a man.
My
I'm a
you.
him. I'm a
You ever woman?
woman.
I keep getting DMs that are people, trans girls asking me to transition.
Would you? No.
Maybe.
I mean, you could if you wanted to.
I can't figure it out right now.
Yeah. No.
I'm waiting to get my Subway ad, and then I think I'll transition.
Yeah. Huge news. Evan's gonna be in a Subway ad.
It could be 6 months from now. Girl, what girl are you, Amelia?
Yeah, girl. What girl are you?
Oh, so I thought I was Ilana because when I went to LA, I put on the longest nails ever, kind of as like a status symbol,
Oh God,
and
it
then
was awful.
and then I couldn't get my diva cup out of my body, and I had to chop them off. But I actually think I'm more of an Abby this episode because if there's one thing I'm gonna do, it's give incredible relationship advice as someone who's never been in a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm Abby in a different way. Because
Okay.
I'm if I'm dating someone for 6 days, they're my boyfriend, and I'm bringing them all around town.
That is true about you.
I was thinking that's kind of my truth too. Like
You hid your boyfriend for 4 months, and
Oh,
then you're
that's true.
like, I
no,
have
that's
one.
not true for you. It's true for me, not true for you.
It's like you were in Prospect Lefford Gardens silently for months,
No,
and then
no,
became
come
queen.
I
on.
was telling you about that.
Well,
You
on Fine,
weren't.
your
I
phone
was.
was. You weren't saying so
You
much.
weren't
On
saying
Fine
so
Friends.
You weren't asking.
I was asking, and you're like, yeah, I went
No,
on like.
to be honest, I wasn't.
You said, yeah, I went on like a hinge date, and then we're gonna go on another
I
one.
knew about Isaac. Oh, sorry.
It's
I knew about
okay.
your boyfriend like after 2 dates. You did bring him up.
Yeah,
But
I
the
told you
thing
guys
is,
about him.
If I'm dating someone for 1 day, I'll bring them to every single event I'm going to.
Right. Yeah, that's not my truth.
I'm just like the way I could help a divorcee through her divorce as if I've been through one.
But you have your parents.
Right,
And
right.
You are helping your mom through it.
Yeah.
I am.
Just like 20 years too late.
I'm getting my mom into EMDR therapy.
I love that woman.
Does she still listen?
No,
No.
she fell off when we
Okay.
moved to this couch. Okay, well, let's cut to our first break, and then we're really gonna lock in and get
There's
serious.
so much. What is the bread and the butter? Okay, so our first sequence is a
love this
truly, I mean,
The Gramercy Park sequence.
yes. So
Yeah.
when you live in New York for 2+ years, you finally have the conversation with your close group of friends. What is going on with Gramercy Park? Why can't I get inside of there? Who do we know with a key? It is just a quintessential later in life conversation for transplants. I see it all the time. No, you go. We say the same thing.
I watched this episode. I remember it so well. Like this rich person's choking. I mean, it really tells like an amazing story of like class and like
An amazing story. of
it,
class.
what's that movie about the cruise ship, The Triangle of Sadness?
Yeah.
This is the Triangle of Sadness. If they were like, let's do
They're
it
on a
quick.
cruise, like
Let's
This is
do
the
it quick.
triangle of sadness if they did it quick.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's get it done quick. Like the thematic elements they're hitting on, they get it
Yeah.
wanted done here.
I
But
wish it was just a sketch comedy.
I wish that movie
Triangle
was
of
shorter.
Sadness.
I love that
Jesus.
line where it's, after he starts choking the second time and they're like, rich baby doesn't know how to eat.
So funny. But I didn't realize that
sorry,
the,
you have to have a key.
he's
No,
so
you're so that guy in the park.
No.
Will you dress the same?
Well, when you find yourself with more than you need, build a bigger table, not a taller fence.
Oh, that's beautiful.
you don't do that.
Of course I do.
No, he does. He's a giver, Charlie. He's a very kind soul.
Take it like a taker, baby.
No, you give a lot. You're a very good friend.
Thank you.
Why, Amelia?
Amelia's cutting all of this.
We can have different kinds of relationships with him.
Yours was a good one.
Yes.
No,
Evan compliments me. Amelia makes a disgusted face. Contorts her face.
The
I know you get your
the
lips
things
so
that's
high,
cool,
girl.
The things that's cool about a friend group is that different friends can have different relationships with the same people.
And we always do.
And they get to be better and
kidding.
healthier.
Oh.
Anyways, all this to say, I didn't know Gramercy. I didn't really understand what this cold open meant because I didn't know about the key thing. And then you had to explain it to me about 4 months ago.
Oh, yes.
Like, this is the one with the key.
I guess it's a third-year transplant
I
conversation.
think I only knew about it because I had seen this episode before I moved to New York.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I've known about it for years.
Because you were born the day Sex and the City came out in
And I was named
Manhattan.
after the poet who is inscribed on the Statue of Liberty. I'm
What did
corked
you
up
say
in
last
ways.
Named
episode?
after her?
That's what I'm telling people now.
You were last named after
Well,
Evan-
first and last.
Lazarus.
I'm a Lazarus. That's an E.
Evan on the
4
last episode of the
letters and
podcast said the building was shaped like a poem.
There's a
What
building
building?
in Syracuse that's shaped like a poem. And I can't find it anymore, but I saw a TikTok about it once.
I've
or
been thinking
YouTube
about
video.
it every day since you said it.
Wait, 1 year ago today, I went to the Statue of Liberty. My phone reminded me of that.
Well, that's really off topic.
I was seeing your aunt,
Oh my God. Third cause.
Emma Lester Lazarus.
I'm a Lester Lazarus.
So then 4 and 3 and 2 and 1
One.
male circumcision. Let's
Mm,
talk about it.
Let's discuss it.
I have to say, like, Broad City is
where we
always
wanna
talking
go
about female pleasure and sexuality in a beautiful way, but I'll hand it to them. They also talk about male sexuality in a real way.
Yeah.
Like when
Well,
Jaime
gay
and the guy,
male sexuality.
Jaime and the straight guy at the party
Oh, you're
are
right.
talking about orgasms and the difference between circumcised penis orgasms and non-circumcised penis orgasms.
Right. So Jaime's arc this whole episode is that he famously has a covered penis. He's still
covered penis.
Uncut.
well, I say covered. He's a covered penis, and it does really increase his satisfaction when it
Wait,
comes
do you
to
say
sex.
covered? Is that like person first language? Like you won't say uncircumcised because that implies that circumcised is the normal.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I meant. I'm woke beyond
You're
belief.
woke.
The way I canceled my whole gay friend group yesterday for doing 9/11 memes.
I was watching a movie. I turned the phone off.
Okay, sorry. So Jaime's experiencing immense pleasure from having an uncircumcised / covered penis.
Yeah,
And they're talking about the radical difference between circumcision and
the radical
A
difference
radical difference.
between circumcised and non-circumcised.
right, but he
penis.
also has a
Male
yeast
pleasure.
infection because
Yes.
of his uncircumcised penis, and
Right.
is debating throughout this whole episode if he should remove the hood or not.
Mhm.
Which kind of parallels to Ilana being like, I work so hard, I have all this money now, but it is like ultimately her hands and toes and feet are all
Mhm.
busted up because it's a high demand job.
Right.
But it's like weird to be working class and wealthy,
Right.
Mhm.
which I really do think is like people who like serve
Yeah.
literally can be so rich, but then they're still serving. So it's like a weird dynamic.
Right, working class, but the wealth.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
I feel like a very like New York thing also.
Yeah.
Right. Well, she's amazing at spending the cash,
Yeah.
and I think that's like the.
When she's at the nail business, she's like, money is no object.
This girl, it's like she's been
She-
fighting for $200 every episode for 4
Literally.
years.
Also, I'm sure everyone says this on every episode, but like this is the funniest show ever made.
No, of
It's
course.
so
They don't,
funny.
by the way.
Everybody's
really hold their
like,
tongue
I,
about
I
that.
wish we could talk about girls.
Oh my god, I just like this is when I went back to rewatch this episode, I was like Gilmore Girls.
And it's you.
Gilmore Girls
Me
rewatch
getting
episode.
home last night at 3 a.m. and being like, it's time for me to watch season 3, episode 14 of Gilmore Girls.
Which one is that?
It's the one where Jess shows up to to dinner with the duck bit him.
Right.
But Rory thinks Dean and him got in a fight.
Right.
And Lorelai is like scared that Rory's gonna fuck Jess.
You know, Swan bit me when I was little.
What?
Yeah.
Girl, what girl are you? You're Jess.
Girl, I'm Jess.
Mariano.
A swan bit me in Massachusetts. Like when it was like near a dock we were on, like reached
my
out and bit
God.
me. And then whenever near my grandparents' house there was like a lake that had 2 swans that were always in it, and every time we would go by,
Gay.
maybe. But every time we would go by, my
Didn't
grandfather
ask.
would go, "There's Charlie's friends,"
Ah!
and point at the
Oh
swans.
my god, a seagull attacked me in a national park.
Oh my god.
Let's
Tell
move on.
This is the
us.
Jake Cornell theory of
Every gay guy's been
every
attacked
gay
by a
guy,
bird.
Like, yeah, or no, it's the like America's Funniest Videos thing. He has a like when there's a video of a kid being attacked by a bird on AFV. Like, you don't know if before that kid was gay, but after you know the kid was gay.
You know my cousins won America's Funniest Home Videos?
I do know.
You won?
Yeah, they won
What?
$100,000.
What was the video?
The video was them praying.
Nut hit?
It was my aunt and uncle, and
That's it. They're just praying.
they're praying before dinner, and the
In
kid
2025, that's funny.
the kid keeps like looking up and sneaking a chicken nugget like during the prayer, and then going
Oh.
back down to pray.
That would have
Was
killed
it
on
staged?
Ellen.
That would have killed on Ellen.
Ellen rewatch. It would kill on that too.
We'll bring them on. I love their asses. The last time I saw them was the like 4 months before Trump was elected president, and the first thing they
Oh.
said to me was, "Are you voting for Trump?" And I said, "I do not want to stay in this house tonight."
Oh, the Steelers voting for Trump. Interesting.
The Steelers.
The Steelers.
He's stealing chicken nuggets while praying.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a metaphor
He's
for
grabbing
you.
something.
There's a metaphor for you faking
Mm.
piety
I bet he
while
was-
actually just lining your pockets. There's the average Trump voter,
And
folks.
that's a good metaphor in this episode of this show as well.
Yeah,
You
they're gonna
guys-
choke on those
Do
chicken
you guys
nuggets.
remember
Absolutely.
schoolhouses where it's like 4 big classrooms?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Remember schoolhouses?
Like old schools,
Oh.
the way they used to work.
It's
Yeah.
one big class.
Yeah.
room.
You say that as if like like you grew up in 1930. Like you remember, like that would be like a Facebook meme for
Wait,
people in
hold on.
1950.
Where the hell is that
You
thought
remember
coming
one
from?
house
Well,
schoolhouse,
let me
one
ca-
room schoolhouses?
Let me land the plane.
Okay, girl.
My
Let's see if
cousins,
she does.
that one,
Female pilot.
my cousins that won the AFB competition live in an old schoolhouse. So it's like they're Trump supporters, but they all have really big bedrooms, like, bigger than you could ever
With
imagine.
chalkboard walls.
Like, literally.
Well, that's because when you come into money, you spend it just like Ilana in this
Yeah.
episode, right? Because she was living with so much desperation. And the moment she was handed more than $100 to her name, she spent it like crazy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the episode, it concludes with the line, they go, "You don't know how hard it is to be rich. To spend all this money, like it was a burden to have to
Yeah.
spend money and like spend it in like exciting and new, interesting ways instead of just saving the stuff."
Being rich sounds really hard. Like Bill Gates does not lead an easy life.
Well, I'm
His
not going to talk
daughter
about how
does.
he's dissolving his foundation right now, but
I saw that and said I'm not going to learn more.
the historic schoolhouse in my hometown was called the Legato House. It was a little red schoolhouse, but now it's outside the huge courthouse and jail where they did the Johnny Depp trial, and it's also the biggest courthouse in the country.
I could finally let my breath go.
And that's where they held the DC sniper for a little while. And
Well,
in
anyway,
Virginia, we had
so
to
in
go
Broad
there.
City-
We had to go before a judge to get our licenses, and we had to like go to a courthouse, and he would give us a talk about how like don't leave your backpack on the front seat, or else it'll chop your head right off. You get in an accident.
Well, you do have to cut a lot this episode. Really.
Do you guys ever find yourself running into your exes?
Yes. You know that's my truth more than anyone's.
The way
only-
I was about to send in that group chat, Evan's ex-boyfriend gets to stay in the chat, but I can't.
I was not happy when you left that group chat.
I added her back.
Oh, you're back?
Immediately I added her back as
Oh,
she
good.
left.
I just knew it would be cool to remind people that I am comfortable leaving.
Sorry, they're not used to women in that group.
No, and I'm like, I'm not afraid to walk away.
No, you're not. You can't be.
Mm-mm.
You're trying to be the first woman to host late night, aka be the one girl in a gay guy group chat. Deborah
That's why I
Vance.
love Deborah Vance's character, Lucia. I love you, girl. Every episode, I find a way to go straight to Kim and say, Lucia.
Lucia, girl, we're watching and we're very pleased.
We're very pleased.
She's very talented, that woman.
That she is so good at directing Broad City.
Yeah.
But all this to say, seeing an ex. Now, I've never seen an ex, but I've seen like
Well, you couldn't.
some. I've seen like someone from my past that I was hoping to never run into again. Like that's
I've never seen a
happened.
purple dinosaur.
I hope people are recognizing the kind of environment I am existing in.
Creating.
I only have
Toxic and bad.
It just feels unsafe for me in the middle of you two.
Imagine how I feel. Evan gave me a compliment. You looked at him like he just got
I feel
shot.
good, by the way. I'm feeling real good on this side of the game.
I only have one ex I could run into, and I never run into him.
I've ran into him and
Jay
texted
Word?
you.
I know, Jay Word.
But he's so harmless.
I know. He's a nice guy.
You don't have cruel
I have one
intentions.
random guy who like kind of low key stalked me a little bit that I always see, and I think he lives in my neighborhood now.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah.
But you know, I date vindictive people. In my head.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm just sorry. I'm vindictive when I date people. I said it wrong.
I'm vindictive when I date people.
In my head, I do everything right.
Literally.
When I call, I forgive and not fight.
Yeah.
This just bounce around for a second. One interaction with Ilana that I just want to point out to you guys is just like get your census on this. In New York, there's a article that in the New York Times, there's an article that Ilana references while she's getting her nails done that she read a headline recently that all these nail techs were really like being having abusive environments. And like I will say, when that article came out in New York, at least in the community I lived in, like it was a very hot topic for a very long time, like a very contentious, because essentially the premise is that, and they actually talk about this kind of in Sisters too, which I think is funny, which is
That's what I was gonna say when I watched this. I was like, this is literally a scene in Sisters.
Yeah, it's something similar.
I am the owner.
It's a little bit different, but the premise of this article is essentially nail techs will live in like far out Queens, Long Island. They come from China or Vietnam often, and they go to these nail salons. They just put on a random name tag every day that's actually not their name. They make like $7 an hour, and they share like 5-person to a bedroom. So it was like a lot of white guilt at like it only lasts about 6 months. People went right back to the nail salon, didn't tip over 20% afterwards. But for those 6 months, people were tipping crazy. Like it was really like, I remember reading that headline and I just brought up with all my parents' friends all the times because I knew it was like something they were always so concerned about.
Yeah.
So Lana's reaction to this, like during the time, was like very like reasonable.
6 months is kind of the shelf life on white guilt. After that, you need to like you need to re-up.
White guilt.
White guilt. I also like the scene when Abby's having sex and then Bevers comes in.
Oh, I know.
Like jumps in the bed.
Why is he the real gay roommate? Because Jaime won't show
He
his
is the real
penis
gay
to
roommate.
Ilana, but Bevers can jump into bed.
I love how they love.
I love how they love.
I want to talk about how when we started the podcast, when we started the rewatch, how much we talked poorly of Bevers, how much we hated him.
I love Bevers.
But we foreshadowed, you know what? We do like concede that he does get better. And I think we are finally entering the part of our rewatch.
Well, they knew he couldn't be hated the whole time.
Yeah. And so now there's this fun push and pull, this game they get to play where it's like Abby gets to be first disgusted and like,
well, it's 'cause they
why
made it
I oughta.
and then she gets to be like, but thank you, like let's girl out together.
Well, they
the
feminized him, right? Because he's very masculine the first 2 seasons. But there's 2 scenes, like the end of season 3 and then season 4 now, or it's in the beginning of season 4, Abby's trying on outfits and Bever's giving like high like levels of critiques on all her outfits in a very gay, feminine way. And then now he's running to bed after Abby's hookup. So
and he's like, I've been listening and watching you have sex, and it does seem like you're putting your pleasure first.
Straight men want a femme out.
Straight men want a queen out. Like they want, like, and when they get comfortable enough like that, like in like a roommate relationship like that, that's so.
It's so true.
So real.
Straight guys want a femme out.
Yeah. And
not with me, but
girl, Amelia's watching Challengers.
and she's learning a little bit too.
And Abby says something like to him about the sex. She's like, "This is about me learning about my body or knowing my body." And Bevers goes, "I've noticed that, and I'm proud of you."
The way I just said that.
Oh, you did?
I quoted those exact lines.
Really?
Just before you made that exact point.
By the way, I didn't catch it either.
We have it on tape, folks. Men, do not listen to me.
That's crazy.
You still don't even believe me fully right now. That's the craziest part. I can see it in your eyes.
I don't.
I'm just shocked.
Y'all are like, yeah, we'll see that.
Evan's nail tech story really got to me.
Well, it's a moving piece.
Yeah.
It really was. Okay, so when waiters finally have their one night off, the way they go harder than any demographic of people on earth, because waiters are some of the most fun-loving people on earth. They don't get weekends, but there's so many bars in the city that are built around like industry culture, and industry sometimes also means service industry. And these bars on the week, you walk around New York City, and you go, these bars are more turned than anything I've seen on a Friday, Saturday night. It's because it's all waiters and all like line cooks there, like snorting absurd lines of Adderall, coke, and ketamine, and like having fun at the Johnson. And it's like, it's fun. It's like, that's a real
having
trope.
fun at the Johnson.
They're having fun at the Johnson. Literally, thank you so much.
Yeah.
They're all performers.
Yeah.
As we famously know.
I love seeing...
that's why they're called cast members at Disney World.
Well, don't you guys notice that in every single TV show, like all the characters either have to be writers or waiters?
Writers or waiters.
Yeah.
Because that's what New York's made of, baby.
Yeah.
I know, it's true. No writers anymore.
Well, sometimes girls get to be marketing leads. For like a magazine.
But they don't get TV shows. Oh, unless they do magazine.
Yeah.
Magazine is a one exception for people getting TV shows.
Ilana's orange wig is iconic.
Thank you for bringing it up.
I'm sorry, I had to say.
And let's cut to Ilana's wig is cool. Abby's,
I hated her dress in this. I hated her look.
no one's
at
ever
the
liked
party.
a
But I
single
know you're
dress
not
she's
supposed to like what she
worn.
wears.
Well, don't you think it's like dykelicious that she's so obsessed with telling everyone she has a boyfriend?
Dykelicious. I do think that's dykelicious.
Yeah, literally. It's like because it's also like a lot of. I mean, when I ever had a girlfriend, and I remember one time I had a crush on a girl in 7th grade, and I told every single person in my class other than the girl that I had a crush on her, just because I think it was so fun to perform like heteronormativity. So I was like really going my way to let everyone know that I had a crush on a woman.
Right.
Me right now, anytime I go on a date. I'm like, guys, I went on a
he's the
date. I
one.
think they're the one. It's all performative.
Also, the party that they're at felt bizarre.
Yeah, it's a 30+ party.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
It's because
like
dentist.
lights on. It's just kind
Well,
of like dancing, but also champagne.
I
but
also think
Yeah,
a
why was it
thing-
catered?
why was it catered?
Because the idea is that Ilana is excited to flaunt her wealth at a party where it's like people their age who have legitimate
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
We see Lincoln for the first time
Mhm.
since him and Ilana broke up, and he low keys had a glow up. He's looking good,
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
and he's with his
He looked
girlfriend.
really hot. That's one of the big things I know. I think
Yeah, he looked
often
great.
it's interesting, and I hate to say this, a lot of women when they start dating men, it's like they don't, not that they let themselves go at all, but it's like they don't focus on their looks as much.
Yeah.
When straight men finally date women, that's when they're at their hottest.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what's so fun is the whole like pheromones conversation.
Yeah.
Where like that guy is flirting with Abby for 2 minutes, and then Abby's like, oh no, like I'm in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Do you know what the winning theory? That once you win, it actually sets up like a perpetual winning streak. So once I think dating actually looks like once you are dating one person, it's much easier to start dating multiple people because you're entering your winning streak.
Yeah.
Compared to like when you have a loss, your face was another loss. But once you have a win, it's not even just the pheromones. I think it's just the nature of like when you're a winner, you're saying a winner.
Yeah.
I think it's the magnet, like
Which one?
like it's attraction, like
The
you
law
would
of
you would
attraction?
track. Yeah, it's the law of
The
attraction. It's the law. It's the secret, and it's the law of assumption.
And on they call it on 30 Rock. It's when it rains it pours.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
That's like legit, and that's why I've been trying like for one good thing to happen to me, so then all
Start a
these good
cascade
things.
effect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's like I
true.
keep trying to get into the double dutch and trying to start jumping.
Jump
And-
in, girl.
When
and
stuff like
it's-
that happens,
I'm no
isn't it
Gotta
really-
start with one
I
rope.
am no
Gotta start with one
Kiki.
rope.
I'm no Kiki. I'm no Corbin.
Well, don't you feel like when you have one win and then you get like more than one win at a time, it's like we live in a video game? Because why is
Yeah.
it working out like this? Because I didn't have a win for months and then they're all happening
Life does
together.
feel video game like that
It
sometimes.
just feels like you're like leveling up in
Yeah.
some way, and it's like no, I want it to be like stretched out a little bit because why
Right.
was there 6 months of a dry spell and now it's all happening at once?
Yeah, because frankly, it's a lot of emails to work through.
It's
It's a lot of emails to work
I
through.
know.
And I'm grateful, but
Right.
it's like I don't know if I have the tools.
Yeah.
We need to evolve past emails.
We're close.
I
We're
would
getting
love
close.
that.
We're getting
I
close.
love that.
Abolish email.
Abolish email. So and then Abby at this party in her fugly ass dress
Well.
escapes on the fire escape and runs into
That amazing woman.
wait, what's the name?
What's her name again? I don't.
Wait,
Miriam Shore.
She runs into Miriam Short, who's famous from the TV show Younger, another Brooklyn-based TV show that we know I'm very passionate about. So let's look at the timelines really quickly because I've been waiting to talk about this whole episode. Younger, of course, premiered in 2000.
The younger iceberg theory.
No, you noticed what my hyper-focus is, and I'm in the middle of my third rewatch of Younger. So it's very interesting for
Third
me.
rewatch, the fourth watch.
Yes, fourth watch, because you know it
we
connected
just
me to my
brought
mom and my
up
dad.
Younger 2 episodes
And it's
ago.
okay because it's a big thing for me. It's another topical TV show that takes place during a similar time. And it's very interesting because Younger is referential to the TV show Girls, not Broad City, which all these 3 shows are on currently at the same time. Where do they take place? All of them in Brooklyn. Very interesting. She's double dipping. You don't see a lot of double dipping in Girls in Broad City, right? But these are 2 shows that are... It's true. It's amazing to watch TV shows actually placed in Brooklyn, film in Brooklyn, because you look today, they're all based in Toronto, right? And you see other shows, high maintenance, you're going to a little bit of double dip in there. Jemima Kirk plays herself twice, you know, and it's just beautiful.
I've really been noticing. So all these new TV shows about 20-somethings, we're so excited about. We're watching them. They are all so obviously being filmed filmed in Toronto.
Toronto.
And they're
It's, like,
pretending they're New
deeply
York City.
upsetting.
I'm like, girl, the air
That
is
should be
different.
relatable to you.
I'm pissed. I'm like,
You were in Toronto pretending it was New York City.
Anyway, back to Younger.
yeah,
Anyway,
so
to Younger.
so Miriam is kind of like, my husband doesn't love me, and it's like the
Wait, but
joke of
this
like,
is her same character arc in
Yeah, I was
Younger
gonna say,
as
does she have
well.
marital troubles in
So
Younger?
she,
oh, it's like the
she's
same arc.
single, and then she like keeps getting boyfriends that treat her awful, and then finally at the end she gets an Italian plumber who treats her right.
Mario?
But what?
Mario?
Lopez?
Super.
That's racism.
Super Mario is an Italian plumber.
Oh,
He's much hotter, this one.
I prefer Luigi.
Hello. You like him tall and
I
skinny.
like Princess Peach because her car is slow and I always lose it.
Right. It's just, I think it's
There's that attitude, Amy.
It's like, oh, I could get last place, but at least I look cute doing it.
Isn't she a Broadway actress?
Probably.
Peach?
Miriam Shore.
Oh.
I don't know about Broadway actresses, to be honest.
I'm surprised there's not a Mario Kart Broadway show.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Trust.
Trust, honey.
So it's just, I do really
That
love.
IP is ticking down.
Oh God, Disney has anything to do with it. Because they love to renew copyright laws.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I do really enjoy watching when a younger character pops up abroad city. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, I liked
a
it
larger
too.
point, but
Someday I'll
it's
watch
okay.
Younger.
Okay, now we
When I'm
have,
older.
we are gonna cut to our second break, but when we get back, we are gonna discuss Ilana shitting her leotard.
Yeah, major.
And we're back.
Don't you guys
Yes.
think, like, no offense, Alana's gay brother is being a bitch because, like, all Alana was asking for was one advice on a leotard that mostly covered her nip, and she bought him 2 cookies.
They are having fun with the incest thing on this show. Because if you remember a few episodes back, season finale, season
Catcalling.
3, Alana catcalls her brother,
Right.
says, "Oh, that ass."
Yeah, he's like, there's a sturdy man.
Well, to her, a man's a man.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the sexuality
Yeah.
or not.
I
It
think
doesn't
Elliot's
matter
a
the
very
family
real kind
relation-
of gay guy. Like, that's a
Classically
very
trained.
classic kind of gay guy who, like, is not going to be happy regardless
Right.
if he's doing something for you.
His character is being pissed.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
But it is like, Alana's like, no, whatever.
Wait, what's the gay guy actor from the Shitsville? Wait, what's that TV?
Schitt's Creek.
Dan Levy.
Dan Levy. Oh, he's a very Dan Levy
What's the
archetype.
gay
to
guy
me.
actor from Shitsville? Dan Levy.
So I blinked for a second.
I think he's bi
He is bi. I remember that.
or pan.
He
Bye.
loves to buy like
Pan too?
he loves to buy pasta sauce at this place that was a block away from where I lived in Los Feliz.
Oh my God. I saw Eugene Levy at the Victoria and Albert Museum once.
Was his eyebrows epic?
His eyebrows were epic, but he was not happy at the information desk.
Ooh, but no one is. That's a hard place. They make it very complicated.
His wife was in a red beret.
Oh, she always is.
Honey. Well, this is interesting to me because my sister is famously about to move to New York. So
Right.
I'm intrigued to see what it's going to be like to like have
Be
a
in
sibling
You're
right
in
gonna
the
have
city.
to zip her in a unitard,
I'm
bitch.
sure I will,
But
honey.
she'll buy you
She'll
Levain.
buy me more than Levain, honey.
So then Alana
Kava?
Kava, bitch.
It's right next door.
Kava.
That's for my
And I'm getting
Williamsburg
pita
heads.
chips. I'm getting pita chips.
Did you see Sweet Green introduced fries?
I did because there's a new Sweet Green right by my gym that opened in a place that used to be like an old movie theater. So there's a big Sweet Green marquee, but I haven't been in yet.
Oh,
I love
God.
when I lived in
They need to stop
Prospect.
turning movie theaters into third spaces.
Literally, it's
there already
so
was a
sad
third
because my
space.
gym also used to be a movie theater. I saw
Oh,
it on like a
God.
historic
I
Greenpoint
know.
Twitter
They
account.
made the Target at my first apartment in New York City have a marquee entrance, like movie
Oh,
theater.
the one in like Flatbush.
Yeah.
I've been to that one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I remember the day it opened and I said, ooh.
So Alana enters this party in the most ridiculous outfit that you've ever seen. She's completely unmatching the energy. She has
Yeah.
a long wig on.
She thought she
a
was, like, going
leotard.
elsewhere.
She thought she was going elsewhere. She thought she was going to wreck last night.
And if we
Forced
remember
meat
this
disco.
era, everybody was wearing business casual to a
Yeah.
party.
I know.
And they're really leaning into it, like in a heavy way. So for Alana to show up in an orange wig and a mesh unitard,
Come on. It doesn't give you a lot to work with. Because she likes to stand out in the room, but like
she keeps hacking at the cheese
she's
with her
hacking the
I
paws.
love
cheese. She's doing
that.
If there's one thing Broad City's gonna do, it's remember the physical comedy.
Right. And like she's using the nails to their fullest extent. She's getting the cheese. She's using them for bumps of coat.
Yeah. Broad
Wait.
City's able to like truly turn realistic situations, and they're very cartoonified. Like truly, you'd only ever see what she did there in a cartoon. Like now TV show plays in a way they do. They play it in the law of animation.
Am I right that the reveal at the end is that the nails are the Obamas?
Michelle Obama was on Amy Poehler's podcast, if anyone cares.
Really?
Yeah, and she's like, I'm enjoying driving a car again.
It's like,
alone. Driving a car alone.
Amelia came into Mission to the pod today, and she's like, how can I connect every point to Amy Poehler
podcast?
She's on the mind. I watched your masterclass.
But when Ilana finally does shit herself, of course, Lincoln
knows
knows that face.
You should not be mixing drugs and dairy.
Yeah.
It really is. Like
and seeing their ex for the first time with their new lover.
And champagne.
But Lincoln
enough
really,
champagne to fill the night.
I really have to say is like it's a really earnest moment to watch. Like your ex who truly does care about you, but like understands boundaries in such a beautiful and healthy way. Entered a situation, never like tried to create any bad blood with you, and goes really out of his way to aid you as you can't unzip your leotard because your nails are so long.
It's just like total love. Like I can't get over. I was watching. Like I can't get over their chemistry, and like
it's the purest
such a specific
form of
like it's like the love story of our generation.
Yeah,
it is, and it's so rare to find it in any television show. You never see a guy exist in a role like that.
Hannibal's so funny.
Well, again, because it's two female writers. Every character has a bit of like real feminization to them. That why we like infantilize so many of them. Like even Trey is like. He's such like the one time he has sex is like it feels like it's gay. Like he's a very feminine man. You don't see any like hard masculinity in the show, and it's except even like Blake Griffin when they had them in the show. He was so playful, so like in his divine, and it's beautiful to watch. Like
it's divine.
He's in his divine feminine energy.
I will say there's something to be said for the fact that, and this connects to Barbie, Greta Gerwig, but it's like when men write a TV show, they don't do a good job of writing women, typically speaking. And when women write a TV show about women, they always make the like boy characters interesting. Like everybody who watches Girls, it's literally about the girls, and everybody's always talking about the boys because it's like women are writing like these really beautiful men that are like really complex.
But they always write men higher status than women. Like not all the time, but girls as an example, like Ray always feels he's higher status than all the girls. Even when he's going through problems, they're never like end all be all for him. Like his problems were like running a mayoral campaign, or like he doesn't want to raise at his job, but he's thrusted upon one. Even Adam like kind of floats through the TV show where when every single time a woman interacts with a problem inside that TV show, it is like really to her detriment and like shows like how highly flawed she is, but the men are never depicted in that way. And like you never look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like almost like a divine entity. Lincoln is a divine entity. Like
I heard LinkedIn. He said LinkedIn.
You said LinkedIn.
I got a speech impediment, so you're gonna have to keep up with me. You've been my friends for this long now, and now you're trying to figure it out. Anyway,
we were just trying to follow.
No, but Lincoln is a very.
I would not put it past you, Evan, to have been bringing up
there's
LinkedIn
not like
right
a specific. Lincoln doesn't have a specific like flaw. Like he is so like puritanical. Pure.
Yeah.
And Stephen Jaime as example, or it's like that is a really class act guy. Like Abby's the one that cheats on Trey, and like it doesn't cheat, but like is cruel towards Trey. Trey is never the one that's like at attack towards him. So it's very interesting to see.
Yeah, none of the guys on Broad City are jerks.
No, because if a woman wrote a cruel man,
the girls are jerks. Yeah,
and Girls is a similar way to me, honestly. Except for Fran, who's truly evil, and that really comes through.
We hate Fran, and we've always hated
Jake
Fran.
Lacey.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
But I love Obvious Child. Great movie.
It is
when he warms up the butter for her in his hands.
That's cute.
Come on.
And he's pretty good in White Lotus, but he plays an awful man there too. He's so good at playing an awful man. But I'm sure he's one of the kindest people out there.
When Lincoln sees Ilana and he says, "You look like a video girl." Says, "Woman." She goes, little prayer hands. I thought that was funny.
That's so
hey,
sweet.
I love this episode.
And when she wipes between her legs and she's like...
It became medical.
What I did just made it worse. Like, much worse.
I need to
like,
shower.
It became a medical issue.
It's also like the way she like shat herself, just takes the tights off, throws them in the corner, and then uses a towel to just really fuck it up, and then is like, I think I'm gonna have to buy them wine.
Yeah, and like Ilana's acting in that scene is like so great because it's like so, like you were saying, like slapstick comedy, but you can also like see the depth of like emotion and like
Yeah.
what she's
Oh
going
my
through
God.
with Lincoln and
With
like
her
every
lips all
little
messed
like
up.
subtle movement like that she does. Like if you watch that scene, it's
Alana Glazer
it's
is
so good.
spectacular.
Yeah.
You just watched Detroiters.
it's so I haven't watched that, but I know I need to.
It's a great show,
Yeah.
very funny. But one of the magical parts I think of Broad City compared to Detroiters, where it's like they're doing everything kind of like at the expense, like they're doing it for the joke, like everything is building towards a joke.
Yeah.
They're in Broad City, they really take this like really humane
There's
experience,
heart.
like the beautiful, heart-filled experiences, like and
You're always saying humane instead of human. And we have a review of our podcast that's like, I actually think it's quite charming that they don't use the right words all the time.
yeah, because I'm
paint with language.
I'm emotion first.
You paint with language.
I'm sorry. You know what Oscar Wilde said? He said those that don't play with language have no fun.
It's true.
And sorry, I'm playing with my vernacular.
Language
Sorry,
is all we
but
have.
Evan's the Shakespeare of our time. Shakespeare made up every word he said.
Yes.
Literally. But
Or was he just the first to write them
was that
down?
what was I trying to say? What was I saying 10 seconds ago?
Goo goo gaga, bitch.
Bitch, you're the goo goo gaga baby.
Like watch these funny moments in Broad City compared to like a lot of male-based comedies. It's like, you know what? We are dealing with nails as like a critical issue that's inherently comical. Like if you've ever had it, like Amelia's just talking about, like you ever have long nails, it's a beautiful thing. It's so fun to have. It's fresh. Like you see another woman have it, that's why you have them now. But it also really like handicaps you a little bit.
When I was the confidence activist for Halloween and I had a full set of press-ons,
Exactly.
I was a different person.
But hard to use.
Hard to use, yeah.
Hard to use.
Honey, I could not zip up those
And
Levi's.
then the gag of the leotard. It's like these simple
Yeah.
moments that are just
when she ends up just tearing through the leotard.
For so long, most of physical comedy had to rely on gun, on food, on etc. etc.
Yeah.
But when women get to tell their story,
Can rely on leotard.
there is so much more
There's
comedy
new
to be
things to explore.
had. There's
Well,
new
that's
things
why-
to explore.
I don't know if queer comedy is better. I do obviously prefer it. But the thing is, it's so much less explored. So when it is explored, it's always more interesting because the story hasn't been told in the same way.
Yeah.
We're watching Oh Mary and we're like, no one's done it like this before.
Right, exactly. And that's what makes it fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's just because the story hasn't been told yet. Like there's specific issues that we can easily like make humorous in the queer community. And that's why anyone that like in Brooklyn that's queer, when they write something, it's so queer forward and so specific in the queer experience, because it doesn't, even if it feels contrived in a way when watching it, it's interesting in the moment. I've really noticed that.
Literally.
And it's like, sure, in a decade from now, it's going to be contrived because every gay person will hopefully
Right.
have their own thing. But in
We're
the exact
capturing the
moment,
now.
they're capturing the now.
Mhm.
And that's what I really, really love. And that's what Broad City does a great job of too.
Yeah, it does. It's fun now also because it's like a 10-year-old episode
Right.
now. Like it's fun to watch the show as like a time capsule too.
It does. That's the beauty of a rewatch.
So closing out the episode, we've got that closing scene of Abby and Jaime pulling the tips of Alana's nails off because she's got to go to work tomorrow.
She goes like, yeah! Thank you.
And Jaime decides that he's gonna get circumcised.
yeah.
So, and that's beautiful. And Abby's like, maybe I'm still figuring myself
I don't
out.
have a tip metaphor this week.
But she is like, she ends her plot by being like, maybe I'm still figuring it out. Like maybe I'm
Yeah.
not a relationships person, but maybe
Yeah.
I am.
Maybe I am.
Well, I do think the whole Jaime situation of actually getting circumcised, I mean, it's not discussed, but it plays into the larger kind of a conversation. It's like he is a man from Latin America traveling to the United States, and it's like trying to feel hot in his words because he feels like his body's hard, but he doesn't feel like he's fitting the norm. So he's getting circumcision to like fit in this more like
This
ideal,
country
like,
forces you to
exactly.
destroy your body to conform.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does, and that's
It's
something,
true.
especially gay men. Like
Mm-hmm.
the way you have to cut,
Look
prune.
at what Alana is doing to her feet.
Exactly.
She's contorting her body
She's
to
contorting her
conform
body.
to ideas of wealth.
Yeah.
So it's time to ask Charlie the question.
What is your Broad City moment?
And it better be about us.
It's not about you. I actually
I can go on my phone, but it's filming.
my Broad City moment, I was trying to think of one on the way here, and then I finally realized it like as I was knocking on the door. As I said earlier, my sister's moving here. It just happened recently. My sister's moving here, and last weekend she asked me to go look at an apartment for her. And so she sent me the name of, or the location of the apartment. She said, you'll have to go around to the other side of the building and ask someone to let you in to tour it.
Amy Sedaris was there.
No, I wish. Whoopsie, I can see your short and curlies. That's my favorite Amy Sedaris line from Broad City. But so she was like, someone in the office will like let you in to like tour the building. Here's the address. And so I went, and then I see the place, and then I go around to the other side, and the address she had given me is a dentist office. And so I go into the dentist office, and I'm like, hey, I'm here to tour the apartment. She's like, oh, okay, 1 second. And then she goes back and gets the dentist, who's like mid appointment with someone. Like he's wearing like the blue thing, he's got the glasses on and everything. Like he's like fully like he's like, I literally hear him. I hear him say like he's wearing gloves. I literally hear him say like, oh, 1 second. I have a video of it because I was taking a video of the apartment. I can send it to you. But the dentist is like if it was on Broad City, he would be played by Richard Kind. Like he was that kind of guy. And he was just like Richard Kind's the guy who's like he's always in like John Mulaney's stuff. That like old guy.
Oh yeah, I've never seen stuff like that.
You would know who he is. But anyways, so he like bumbles me through the office. He's like, hi, I can show you the place. He's like, just give me a second.
That's so funny.
And so it's the apartment, I guess, is above the dentist office. So he gives me this like literal like 30-second tour of the apartment. He's just like, it's here. This is it.
I'm sure it was an amazing apartment, though.
It was actually a really nice apartment. I can
Is
show
Hannah
you the
gonna move
video.
in?
No, she decided
When you
not
have to jump through hoops to see an apartment, those are the best in all of New York City. The more difficult it is to sign the lease, the better the apartment is.
But it was actually a really cute apartment, and I told her she should get it, but she was kind of still deciding on what she wanted to do, so she didn't jump on it. He was like, don't say she doesn't know anything.
Well, she doesn't know anything about New York apartments.
Right, but she's got one now.
How's your ant problem going?
If we fixed it, don't worry about it.
Yay!
So this is funny. I'd experienced like this the other day. I went on a date with a guy, and I was wearing my roommate's hat. He accidentally stole my roommate's hat, so I had to go to his address, like pick it up before Amelia's birthday party. And I show up, the address is me. It's a laundromat. I'm walking around the laundromat like it's a speakeasy, opening up the dryers, being like, is there a slide in here? I'm like, is there a ladder, stairs?
Chutes and ladders.
I'm walking around. He goes, no, you're at the right place. I keep searching. Apparently, there's 2 entrances.
So you're at the wrong place.
Well, it's 2 entrances for the same apartment.
Got it.
Girl, get your Glock. It's rapid fire time. Okay. We're going to read you some rapid fire questions. Can you keep up? And it's a little bit different when I do it. Are you a schoolgirl? Or are you getting schoolgirl?
I'm a schoolgirl.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, or Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Who would you rather go down on? Michael Bublé or Janet Jackson?
Michael Bublé.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Madonna, Rihanna, Ilana.
Ilana.
Fuck Rihanna. Marry Ilana, kill Madonna.
These bitches are always killing Madonna.
Did someone order hot chicken cunt?
No. Did someone order a hot rich cunt?
Girl, you bent the paper in half. I was trying my best.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
I did.
Are you circumcised? And can you show us?
Yes, I am. No, I cannot.
Well, then get out.
Will you be circumcising your children?
I don't know. It's kind of a complicated thing because that's the whole reason circumcision persists is because there's this weird thing where like I feel like dads who are circumcised want to get their kids circumcised because they like want their kids to look like them or like whatever.
You're dating a Jewish guy, so you should be aware.
I know. So, but also it's like other people are like, why do you need to do this? It's like genital mutilation for kids. But then like this episode shows you know, maybe grass isn't always greener.
Wait, that's the most earnest answer someone's ever given during talk.
So all this to say, I don't know, and maybe it won't be my decision. I might be adopting. So
they might come circumcised.
Yeah, they might come circumcised or on.
How many Ilana Wexlers are there?
How many Ilana Wexlers are there? As many as there are bright stars in the sky.
Lincoln said only one.
Oh, there's only one Ilana Wexler.
How many dates do I have to go on so on Moroccan dating style before I can call him my boyfriend? And you know Moroccan dating styles when you go in 3 hours. A Moroccan matchmaker one time told me that a date is when you do 3 hours with someone. So you go on multiple dates with someone on one day.
Oh, I'm always going on 3 dates all in one go. One outfit, 9 hours. Let's do it.
What was the end of the question? How long do you have to Moroccan date?
Until I have a boyfriend.
Until you have a boyfriend.
And it doesn't have to be the same person.
Honey, how you're going on a Moroccan date? How much mezzy can you handle?
Always a girl mad at mezzy.
So how many dates does Evan have to go on before he's allowed to say it's their boyfriend?
No, I actually think finding a boyfriend. Wait, do you think I handle anything in the right way?
Yes, of course. You're one of
Girl, get your luck.
You're one of my dear friends, and I'm very proud
What do
of
you
you.
think my biggest weakness is?
I think your biggest weakness is your inability to let others in.
I would agree. What's mine?
This is a fun, girl. Get your luck.
Your biggest weakness is
A little harder for me. Too many options.
yeah, how do I narrow it down?
Just do the top 3.
I don't know. Your biggest weakness is
What is mine?
I think it's your need for instant
yeah,
gratification.
I think so too.
Really limits you from your long-term goals.
I think you focus sometimes more on like appearing to have achieved something
Oh my god, you're so
than
right.
actually achieving it.
It's because I grew up dyslexic.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's beautiful. And I'm just learning about
I love
that.
you both, by the way.
I just want to shout
Let's
out.
do Charlie now.
Yeah, what's mine?
I will say before we get into kind of your flaws,
Yeah.
that my sister had
Get into your
undiagnosed dyslexia through kindergarten through 2nd grade, and then finally in 3rd grade got on medication and was actually taught how to read.
Mhm.
And she just got inducted into the National Honor
Wow,
Society.
NHS.
And I'm so proud of her because she's come so far, and she's like, I can't believe no one taught me how to read for so long
Yeah.
and just didn't show me. And I'm actually really smart if they had given me the tools.
That's
If you had
amazing.
let us in sooner, we would have known your sister was dyslexic.
She could have gone to Evans Middle School.
Charlie's
No.
biggest flaw?
Puritanical.
Puritanical.
I
But to you, that means pure.
Girl, sleep a little bit with someone.
think maybe
Oh, now she's lost for words.
it's probably just
I open a notes app,
I'm so
girl. Just
scared.
be easier. I'm sure you haven't written it down.
I think you're so comfortable that you don't push yourself as you could be so much farther if you had kind of the fear
Oh,
and
that's
fire
gonna
in
be
you.
mine.
But you're so oh, I'm chilling,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. But actually, that's not necessarily a bad thing. None of
Yeah.
ours are that bad.
I think I was so intense in high school and college, and then I finally chilled out, and now I'm trying to just stay a chill person. But I do agree that sometimes I wish I could access that I wish I could access the person I was in high school when I was so focused on grades and achievements and this and that. Because
Well, you have gifted children burnout syndrome.
yeah,
Final question: gel or shellac?
is that nails? I don't know the difference. Gel.
Well, thank you so much for being on
Wait,
the pod.
Gel is the thing you have to put under the laser.
Yeah.
Is shellac just normal? Oh, then I
It's
do
a
know
light,
the
though. It's
difference.
not a laser.
I know. Shellac.
Okay, chipped ass nail Charlie.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him during Halloween.
Well, thanks for being on the pod,
Thanks so much for
girl.
having me.
Love you, biatch.
Love
Where
you.
can the people find you?
Find me on Instagram at Charlie Flynn and come to my show Invisible Architecture at Union Hall.
And if you guys really like this episode and Charlie, please DM in and ask him to release his 4 unreleased podcast episodes.
Actually, there are 5.
Not on any of them.
Neither of us have been guests.
Thank you guys so much for listening to Girls Rewatch doing
We get to
Broad
be the
City.
10th guest. Is that your
exactly.
rule? Yeah.
Love you.
And drink Skinny Girl.
Bye.